I just literally cannot with the show. It is like one psychological breakdown after another, one soulmate delusion after another, 200 red flags all over the place. Romeo and Juliet. Ugh, the blind spots. The blind spots. I think we can all relate and maybe cringe a little bit if you've ever been a woman, maybe an anxious woman, maybe an idealistic, hopeful woman trying to save a man. Do not recommend. Not really possible, right? And so today we're going to talk about their Romeo and Juliet style collapse, proof that trauma bonds can feel like fate. But are they? All right, so we're going to go into some Oedipal. Man, I wish I was teaching Psych 101. I mean, like, what a class that would be, right? But we're going to do it here instead. So we're going to hit the Oedipal, we're going to hit the abandonment, we're going to hit the emotional age gap, we're going to hit the blind spots for Chelsea that cost her everything. Listen, y'all, I've seen this in the therapy room. I've helped people leave abusive relationships. I've helped people break up, get divorced. So if you've ever mistaken chemistry for destiny, and oh my God, the crazy chemistry that happens when those abandonment wounds collide. This one's for you. So, point number one, trauma can feel a whole lot like fate. So, some would say Chelsea and Rick weren't in love. I mean, honestly, he pretty much rebuffs her every single time, tells her to get with another guy, puts her life in danger in the snake incident, pretty much tells her she's dumb for being with him. So I think this is where we see Chelsea's fatal flaw of really not wanting to accept the reality that she's like created this relationship around him. So oftentimes when we get into this trauma bond, I've got a whole video from Baby Reindeer about Stockholm syndrome and trauma bonding. A lot of times this like soulmate karmic cluster is actually a trauma reenactment, not a soul level connection. Okay. So I gotta say, it's not every day I get to talk about Oedipus anymore. So this is so potent because it is such a twist of Oedipus and Romeo and Juliet all mixed up into one. So with Oedipus, the old story goes that Oedipus goes to a fortune teller. He gets told that he's going to kill his dad, sleep with his mom. He is horrified. He runs away and he meets his fate on the road, gets into a fight, ends up slaughtering someone. Guess who it is? It's his dad. Spoiler alert, something similar happens with Rick. But we're on Oedipus right now. And then guess what? He goes, ends up marrying his mom, only to discover, oh, 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 the psychic was right. And then attempts to run away from his destiny. Bam, right in there. Oof. Oof. So, what's going on here? Well, we don't know a whole lot about his family. We know that his father was killed. At some points during it, his mother gets called a whore and a drunk. So we can just assume maybe like he didn't have a good childhood. I think that's safe to say. So he's unconsciously seeking the nurturing of Chelsea. Oh my God. You motherly nurturing empath ladies. Looking at you. Okay. So his rage and need for control is like bubbling out of him. And this is part of the not getting needs met as a child, of being abandoned, of probably being neglected, maybe having to take up for his dad in his absence, right? And then it's sort of revealed, spoilers, of course, spoilers. It's revealed in the final episode after he kills him, aka Oedipus, that yeah, it's his dad. And yeah. Okay, so is it better not to have a bad dad in your life? Is it better to have to know who your dad is, even if he is, in this case, a criminal? It's hard. And you can see that Rick really embodies, I wouldn't say charm. I mean, he's got a little bit of something, something, but I would say he's like more often cruel. But there's something about that hard to get constant reaction, like no truth bullshit moment that just keeps Chelsea close. So, yeah, this anxious avoidant dance. I mean, I see it over and over again all the time at my therapy couch. Okay. FYI, if you're in that anxious avoidant thing, like she's anxious, he's avoidant, the more anxious she gets, the more he runs, right? He goes off to Bangkok, he doesn't call her, he doesn't do anything, right? If you're the anxious person, start withdrawing a bit. If you're the avoidant person, start approaching a bit. That's one way that you can shift the anxious avoidant pattern without actually controlling the other person, because as much as I wish I could say that you can control the other person, you can, okay? You can maybe influence them. Influence is the best you can get, but Chelsea really clings to this fantasy of love will heal him. Okay, I get it. I'm a romantic. I've thought that before, but her intuition is like in her ear whispering warnings. Okay, she's saying bad things happen in 3. She almost gets killed in the burglary. He takes her and unleashes a bunch of snakes. Girl, red flag. Okay, don't be coming near me with a snake. Okay, that will be it for me. Okay, so she mistakes the struggle for intimacy, and I get it. I get it. Loving a Scorpio, they do keep you on your toes, but this is sort of a core trait of codependency. I'm going to do a video soon on the Dirty Dozen and healing from families of addiction and codependency. So stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. Okay, so it's very clear that they've got a significant age gap here. She's almost a little girl to his like old man, and they even comment that they thought he was her father. So this can create a power imbalance that is deeper than age. And even though y'all might grow together, like there's still always that age gap. And so even though she's much younger in certain ways, she's so much more emotionally mature. But he's not really willing to change. And that's what people ask me all the time. They'll say, my partner has this. Do you think we can make it? And my question back is always, are they willing to work on it? If they are willing to work on it, then I say yes. People can change, everything can work. I do have some of that. Unless you're a Scorpio. No, I'm just kidding. I do have some of that Chelsea. Like, people can make it work. But if they're not willing to work on it, if they're not willing to go to therapy, then we're just looking at a bad romance, y'all. She is ignoring some major red flags. And one of the things I love to say is don't ignore the red flags because you're wearing rose-colored glasses. So easy to do, but really it's psychological self-destruction. And you can see it so clearly here where they get better, but it's too late. Okay? We'll get to the ending in a minute, but let's just talk some red flags of codependency. Raise your hand if you've ever lost yourself to someone else. You know, like turning into another version of them, liking exactly what they like, not wanting to like disappoint. Yeah, been there. What about believing you love can fix someone? Yeah, feeling like if you could just get them to feel their feelings or go to therapy or have a family session or maybe just love them enough that we could fix it. Don't waste your precious time, babe. Seriously. Ignoring your intuition. Okay, this is one I deal with all the time. Anxiety and intuition can sound really similar. Okay. But really, what happens over time is we get this feeling addicted to making it work, and the struggle is a substitute for intimacy. These are all indicators that you're probably reenacting childhood abandonment patterns. Okay, y'all. The real soulmate test, a soulmate doesn't destroy you, they help you come home to yourself. I can see Chelsea just loving that right now. Here's the thing. If your nervous system is constantly in chaos, it's not love, it's your trauma talking. And I get it. On this channel, we're all about pleasure and regulating your nervous system. And we know life can be crazy and chaotic, right? But we want to limit the craziness and chaos where we can. So I would really like to talk a bit about the ending. Okay. So we kind of discussed the edible pattern got going on here. We also have a little Romeo and Juliet flair there. He goes off to Bangkok. Rick confronts his dad. He ends up kind of showing him compassion. He comes back to the island. Him and Chelsea reunite. They have this like sweet little soulmate moment. So cute. They're like, oh, on the beach, like feeling so good. Then Rick's dad has to get one last jab in on his mom, right? And then what does he do? Right? And so then he's killed his father, just like Oedipus. And then he's telling Chelsea to get out of there. And then what happens next? She gets shot. Okay. She's such an innocent in this. And it does sort of play out in a couple different ways where the other son, who's sort of innocent, gets spared slash sacrificed slash spared. Whatever. Maybe I'll do a whole one on their family because, oh my God, we can definitely dive deep on that one, but let's stay focused. Okay. So Rick's got his abandonment wounds. He's faced it off. He's like, sort of, I'm a bigger man and I'm going to let you go and I'm going to go not let you ruin my life and have a happy life with Chelsea. They reunite and then boom, she's dead. And then, oh my God, y'all, I could tear up here. But as he picks her up and is carrying her, like kind of sacrificially, and he's so distraught that he's created this. And then he gets shot in the back. Y'all. You know what they say about when you write? They say, take these people that you love, the characters, and do awful things to them. And I gotta say, Mike White, the creator of White Lotus, really did that. He created maybe not so many likable characters, but boy, he did them dirty at the end. Okay. Yeah, I just couldn't hold back. Okay. How many chances is she gonna give him? And he's such a classic abandonment. He's that push pull. I mean, he's not even really that endearing to her until the very, very, very end. And she's just fixated on him being her soulmate. And she's Delulu in not the manifesting way, but like in the whoops, I really am not seeing things clearly kind of way. And yet, why is it so touching that in a way she was right? They are soulmates. It just cost her everything. What the y'all? What? What? There's so much packed in there that I just had to come on here and comment that if you are in a relationship where you feel like you're trying to fix your man and you know he's your soulmate, but it maybe isn't working, take the cautionary tale from Chelsea and do what you gotta do. And remember, focus on your own salvation and get your own soul right before we start trying to fix other people. In fact, let's just not fix other people, okay? Because it's too much. It's too much. So, girl, if you mistaken chemistry, there is something about a karmic that will light that scoreboard up, okay? Does not necessarily mean that that's the thing. So if you've ever tried to save a man, tell me your cautionary tale down here. What's your tip and how did you manifest the partner of your dreams? Check out my other episodes on pop culture, therapist reacts. You know, I love me a little toxic relationship. It's so fun to comment on, and I think it's more common than you would think. So let me know what you want to see next. I'm thinking of doing couples therapy series. the show. Someone told me to do Temptation Island. Do I get that drama? I think. I think I will. Anyway, if you want to see me review a video or a show below, put it down there. Thanks for watching. Tell me your favorite part of White Lotus. Should I go back and do the other two? I mean, I really love those as well, but this one was just so freaking blatant. I could not wait. All right, y'all. Catch you later. Bye.